Hey everyone, I'm Steph,
I'm Megan.
and welcome to another episode of Late Night Reads.
This week we are talking dark romance and covering Bad Bishop by L J Shen.
Let's start with why we selected Bad Bishop. We haven't covered a dark romance on the show yet, and this one was the perfect choice.
Oh,
So
so
good.
good.
We love morally gray men who make questionable decisions and would burn down the world for you. And Tiernan is like the grayest of them all.
Oh, he might be like a charcoal gray. He's like,
Right.
whew.
Like so close to black, and I love it. We also loved that our FMC was deaf and sheltered for most of her life, and how she comes out of her shell feels like super authentic and fun to watch. I personally love like her Italian spunky personality coming to life.
Oh, yes.
And, and we cannot forget the twist about the identity of her attacker. Did not see that coming at all. At all.
No. I pride myself on trying to figure these things out. No clue. Had no clue. I was
No
like,
clue.
what?
I know,
So
and
good.
even going back and reading through it like the second time, like I can see like tiny breadcrumbs, but like all of his actions were very, I would say, normal of what I would expect for anyone in that situation.
Yes, you do not suspect him,
Not at all.
truly.
And this book made us start immediately devouring the rest of her backlist. Did I immediately binge read 3 more books? I did. I did.
Immediately pre-ordered the next one. Yes.
Correct. You're not
Give
wrong.
it to me now. I want it. Give it to me.
Which I think is like the hallmark of a fantastic author when you want to read
Mm-hmm.
everything that they've written.
Yes. Now, here are a few things that you should also know about this author, L J Shen. So, L J Shen is a New York Times, Wall Street Journal, USA Today, Washington Post, and #1 Amazon bestselling author of contemporary and NA romance. So, best known for her angsty, dark books and barely redeemable alpha heroes, she writes fairy tales with teeth and claws. Absolutely loved it. Now, she herself lives in a very lovely beach town with her family, pets, and of course, inner demons, as we all do. And she enjoys reading, traveling, cooking, and spending time with her grumpy cat, which I'm like, I need a picture of this grumpy cat. Let me see.
And also, aren't all cats grumpy?
I feel like they are. They have to
I feel
be.
like that too.
It's
Like
like,
it's just like a
if you're a
personality
cat,
trait.
you're a grumpy cat. Yes.
Right. Okay, so before we jump into discussing this book, a couple of key reminders as always. This episode will contain spoilers. We assume if you're listening that you have read the book, you've been warned. Also, this book has a large number of topics that may be sensitive for some readers, and we're going to talk about almost all of them on the show. Abortion, abusive relationship, alcoholism, anxiety, assault, blood, bullying, cheating, child abuse, childbirth, death, depression, emotional abuse, gun violence, hospitalization, medical trauma, murder, physical abuse, pregnancy, prostitution, PTSD, rape, self-harm, sexism, sexual assault, sexual harassment, suicide, torture, violence. That is our longest list.
Literally, I think our longest list ever. And there is rape on the page. So it's like, that is a major, major trigger warning. Just prepare yourself for that. But it is part of the plot. It isn't,
Yeah.
unfortunately, a necessary thing in the plot. So, first, let's talk tropes, shall we? First of all, this is a mafia book, which hell yes, I am here for that. The entire book centers on the mafia world with the 2 primary families just controlling New York, and you're like, who is going to win? Who is going to battle this out? Then we have arranged marriage. Lila is it Lila or Lila? I think it's Lila. So Lila, kind of like Futurama Lila, she is forced into an arranged marriage by her father after she becomes pregnant from said rape, unfortunately. A deal is struck between the 2 families for Tiernan to marry her in exchange for her father's help and, of course, killing someone.
Of course.
And then Tiernan gets to take over the Harlem territory. So,
That's better
kinda
than
like-
salt.
I mean, yes, true. Much better than salt.
Or
but
potatoes.
you're like, huh. Irish potatoes. There you go.
Oh,
So it's interesting. It's like, okay, so I am just someone to pawn off, like rude. But Leela comes into her own, which you get very proud of her for that. Then next we have touch her and die. Literally, like when you're talking about the mafia, you touch his woman, you will die. Or you will lose a very important appendage that you are fond of. So even when Tiernan claims that he doesn't have feelings for Lila, he's willing to hurt or kill anyone who looks at what is his. Like,
God.
you look and you die. You touch, you're gone. Your body is dismembered in the river.
I loved it. Like, his possessiveness was like,
oh, he's so dark.
Utter perfection, and I loved every single second of it. Oh. He's so dark. Oh, he's the darkest of the darks, and I love it.
He truly is. And he's aware of it. He's just like, I have no redeeming qualities. This is who I am. You're like, okay.
And it turns me on.
And it does. Okay, then we have Forbidden Love. No one in Lila's family wants her to have feelings for Tiernan, of course. And he's even pretty determined throughout most of the book not to fall for her either. He's like, don't. Like, this should not happen. Which means it's going to happen. And of course it needs to happen. So good.
We're here for it. Okay. There is a lot of drama in this book. I think maybe more so than the typical, like, romance book that we read. And one of the things I loved, and I don't think I realized how important it was in the very beginning, is there's an afterword that you read first. And we learned that Velo Ferrante is, like, basically the head of the clan. He's dying. He needs to pick a successor. And he has 3 sons, Lucas, Achilles, and Enzo. And he also has a son-in-law, which Tiernan, that we learned about, and a secret son, which I'm not going to try and translate what that means, but it basically means favorite son in Italian.
Esser el beniamino.
Thank you, Megan. And I'm like, okay, so I need to know who the fuck this guy is. Mm-hmm. We also see him cross out Tiernan's name on the list. And that makes me wonder if the 4th book in the series is going to be about this identity of the secret son. Because we know that book 2 is about Achilles. I'm assuming book 3 is going to be about Enzo. And then I think book 4 is going to be about the secret son. This is my predictions. We'll see. Okay. And I also think he's going to end up being the future leader of the clan, which, yeah, I'm here for. Okay. Mm-hmm. If you would like to get our attention, have a hot guy tied up getting tortured by another mafia clan in chapter 1. Because holy shit, we were hooked.
Oh, like, God. Yes.
What? I loved it. Apparently, the Ferrantes are not pleased that Tiernan killed this Russian dude, Igor.
Rasputin.
Correct.
Rasputin.
Right? It sounds kind of dirty, like in a gross way, not in a sexy way.
Honestly, I just thought of Rasputin from, like, Anastasia the whole time.
Ah, okay.
That's where I went.
That's not where I went with it. I went a totally different way. But basically, Tiernan had the audacity to kill Igor in their territory. And that's like a big no-no. You can kill him, just not on our land. I like to know that the mafia does draw the line somewhere. They're also pissed that he killed another one of their men, Filippo, 10 months ago. Check out Handsome Devil if you want to read more about that story. It tells you how Filippo died. And it's also very dark. As payback, they cut out his eyeball. And he doesn't fucking flinch. And then they let him go. And I was like, I was addicted. Like, from the first chapter, I was like, give me more. I devoured this book.
Immediately, yes. But I also was like, no.
How do you not flinch? And what have you, it made me curious, like, what had he been through that he could handle having his eyeball cut out and not flinch?
Oh my God.
Like, so I have insane. A high pain tolerance. And I think
when someone comes at you with the knife in your eye and starts,
like, you would flinch,
that would hurt.
That would hurt.
A little bit. He just, like, stared at him with his one good eye and was like, do it.
Do it.
Do it. And you're like, holy shit.
I know. And I was like,
I'm
God.
so turned on right now, but I shouldn't be. But holy shit.
Be. The funniest part about all this, Megan, is our husbands are so the complete opposite of this guy. Like, the sweetest of the sweetest men.
What the hell are you reading? And I'd be like,
it's so good.
So good.
So it's like, I mean, I want this in a book. I don't want this in real life.
Oh, yes. Let's be clear. Please do not cut out my husband's eyeball in real life. Please do not do that. I like them. They're very nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's walking around he's holding his eyeball now. He just gets to take it as a souvenir.
I guess,
like,
right?
Is it going to reattach? I'm like, no. But, now there's just, like, blood. And he runs into Lila. And she is the only sister, but the youngest of the Ferrante brothers. And she happens to be deaf. But her mother has actually been pretending that she has a developmental disability so that basically her father cannot marry her off to another mafia boss. So Lila, we know, is not really, like, mentally disabled. She's actually very, very like smart. And
Yeah.
she's deaf, but she can like play it off. So he comes across Lila and he asks her if he should fuck you, kidnap you, or simply kill you. Talk about an introduction. Like,
Right?
while he's bleeding and holding his eyeball, he's like, what should I do with you? And she's just like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. And then he acts like he's going to drown her in the fountain, or perhaps cut her eye out with a dull knife. He's like, oh, you know what? Eye for an eye. Maybe I should do this. But he does neither. And instead, he gives her his eyeball. Followed by telling her if her brothers fuck with him again, then he is going to hunt her down, fuck every hole in her body, and then kill her. And yet, she is not telling them. Well, for two reasons. One, she's not supposed to even understand language or like what is happening. And then the second one is she's thinking like, I'm not your errand bitch. I'm not going to do shit for you. But she's silent. But she keeps the eye. She keeps the eyeball and just like watches him go. And you're like,
Oh, I was so fascinated by her at that point.
oh. So we fast forward 2 weeks. Luca, her older brother, is getting married, and Lila is pretty much dressed like a fucking child in like a frilly pink dress. She's 18 years old, but her mom dresses her like she's a toddler, like in toddlers and tiaras, basically.
Yeah.
And she is just enamored with this guy, Tate Blackthrone, and honestly, he is the MMC and the handsome devil. He is we like him a lot.
Yeah.
And he previously, like, you know, extended an olive branch to her and, like, danced with her one time at another event. And he's happily married. Like, there's not really anything going on there. But he was nice to her once. So she's like, I like him just because he was nice to me. He treated me like a human, God forbid.
Or like an adult.
Or an adult, yes. And so Tate happens to be talking to Tiernan, who now has an eye patch over her, which is
Also
really
sexy.
fucking sexy. Like, okay.
Okay.
And then meanwhile, Lila is then asked to dance by her new brother-in-law, so Luca's wife's brother, who is Angelo Bandini. But her mother refuses. She's just like, no, she doesn't dance. And her father just confirms like, oh yeah, Lila is simple. And I'm like, it's rude.
I know. I wanted to punch him.
Yeah. But this is why Lila gets really pissed off herself and leaves the reception to just go visit her secret spot on the beach because they come to this resort all the time. So she's just minding her own business. Does not end well for her when someone grabs her, beats the crap out of her, and then knocks her out with like a chemical and ends up raping her. Now, at this time, she does kind of recognize like a little bit. She's like, he's got eyes. So we're like, okay, it's not Tiernan. It's got two eyes. And there's like a tiny little breadcrumb then for his identity that we find out later in the book. But she also just decides to pretend like she doesn't know what's happening. She just like goes still and it's just like, if I just don't move, maybe he won't kill me. Which I am sure that other people who have been victims in a similar situation have done the same. And I hate that has happened for her, for anyone. And, you know, let's just say that the rapist gets what's coming to him.
Yes, he does. I think the thing that I appreciated from this book, while I hate the fact that like rape exists and things like that, I think she did such a nice job of showing the emotional trauma that can come from it. And so, and how long it lasts and how like it's very different things that can happen to you in terms of like how you feel. It felt very authentic. And I just really appreciate that because I think sometimes when there's emotional trauma that happens to someone in some other books, it's sometimes glossed over. And I felt like this was very prominent throughout the storyline. And I personally thought it could actually be healing for some people.
Yeah, because there was like a redemption arc within it of like, you can overcome this.
Yes.
Like, you don't have to let this be your identity. You can move through. It's still there. You have to work with it. But like, you can still come out the other end.
Yeah. Well, fast forward 8 weeks. She's pregnant. She has horrible morning sickness, and she cannot remember the face of her attacker, which I think is also something that can be common as well, right? The brain blocks out so much stuff when there's trauma that happens from all different types of situations. And her mother pleads with her father to allow Lila to get an abortion, but he refuses because it's allegedly God's will. And she responds with one of my favorite lines: "She was raped, fellow. Fuck your God."
Which honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe like if someone like wants to get an abortion because they're raped, they should. If that's
Yeah,
what they want
exactly.
for their body. That's what I think anyway.
It's your body, your choice.
Mhm.
Your dad does not get a fucking say.
No.
And then that causes
No.
Velo to hit his wife, and then his sons stand up for their mom, which I appreciated, right? Like they threaten to like hurt their dad if he touches her again. And I'm like, also, where have you been though? Like
Yeah.
this is not the first time, I don't think.
Mm-mm.
And their solution is to have Lila married off to someone else. And that way no one can question that she was raped. And they don't want to marry her off to someone else like in their clan because that would, be problematic. I'm like, my first question was, it would also be problematic if they're related. Like,
Yes. For many reasons.
but I also get like Italian families, like there's like your family can be very distant and things like that. Anyways, so she's like hearing them or like lip reading for the most part, right? Talk about her and how they want to marry her off, and she's just like sitting in the room.
She has to pretend she doesn't know what's going on. But inside, she is like raging.
Yes. Because like no one wants to be treated like this. So then they confirm they want to marry her off to Tiernan, the guy who gave her his eye. And her brothers are less than thrilled about this. But her dad's like, I need him to no longer be a thorn in my side. This would take care of two birds with one stone. And I'm like, this might be worse than getting traded for salt.
That's pretty bad.
Pretty bad. So then Enzo, Achilles, and Luca go to see Tiernan, and they bring him back to the family manor to discuss the deal. And I, at this point, kind of felt a little bad for him because they've already taken out his eye. They basically force him to come with them. And then he finds his father, his brother, Fenton, and his twin sister, Tierney, already there. And I'm like...
And he's like, what the fuck?
Actual... Right. Talk about being the last person to know about your future.
Mm-hmm.
And then Velo shares right that Lila was raped at the wedding and stares at Tiernan to confirm he wasn't the one who did it. And I'm like, do you think your stare is going to make someone confess? That's not how it works.
Yes, I did this, and I will admit it in front of you in your house with everyone around here who wants to kill me while my family is here. Like,
correct. And we're all carrying weapons.
Yeah,
but
smart.
Good news. He only does blowies and anal because it's less chance of giving a woman an orgasm. And I was like, there were so many moments in this book where I was like, oh my God, that's hilarious. And I have so many questions. What? You can't be serious. Like, no, and he's like very serious.
He's absolutely serious. He literally will not have sex in the correct hole.
Correct. And then I was very
correct
curious.
Hole to make a baby anyway. So.
Correct. Well, and I was just curious, like, I'm like, why? I did not expect the emotional trauma we learned later as the reason why, but I was just really fascinating. I was like, at first I was like, is he that much of an asshole? He like doesn't want the chance of a woman having an orgasm. And then I'm also like, does he not know that most women don't have orgasms from penetration? Because
like
a lot of things to tell you there. Anyway,
have you heard about the clitoris?
Apparently not. No.
Oh yeah, he does. And he's like, huh? I need a map. Where is it?
I need a map. So then they drop the bomb of like, FYI, you're going to marry her, pass the child off as your own. And he's just like, no.
What am I doing?
What am I doing? In exchange, because we are going to like exchange things because we are bartering. Because once again, women are not property, but in this book, they kind of are. The Frontes will help open up the ports for his family. They'll help Tiernan fish off the Rasputins, and he'll get Harlem, which is better than salt. However, my favorite response is he's like, fine, I'll marry her. I'll claim the child as my own and name only. I'll occasionally fuck her, and then I'll take out her rapist. That's it. I will not care for her or the child. And all I thought was, can you imagine your future husband sitting in the room with your dad going, yeah, I'll fuck your daughter. Like, no. As they're discussing how much you cost.
Yes. Also, you're going to fuck me but not give me an orgasm? Fuck you.
That's
like,
right?
What? Like, rude. So rude. You. Ugh. But can you imagine knowing now, like, who it was?
I know. And that's what I thought was so fascinating is like there are like Fenton is against them getting married, right?
Yeah.
But
Okay,
you
we just
don't.
gotta say it now. It was Fenton. It was Fenton.
Everyone's read the book. They know.
Everyone know. I know, but I'm still just like, oh, it was Fenton, and he's sitting there like a motherfucker.
I know, and just like he's acting kind of like some of her brothers are, where I think Luca and Enzo both were like against it. But
Mm-hmm.
he's not, he's like fairly calm.
Yeah, he's just chilling. And I was like, how could you not be shitting yourself when like your brother is getting accused and you know you're the one who did it and you're right there and it's like,
Especially because like they look pretty similar. Like they're different,
mm,
but like they do have some similarities in appearance. So it wouldn't be too shocking to think that Tiernan did it as like a payback for like taking out his eye and
yeah.
yeah.
But oh fuck. So messed up and you're like,
messed
yes,
up.
I want to
It's
read
so
more.
fucking good.
So good. Okay. So in this family meeting, we also learn about the deal between Tierney and Achilles. Or technically now it's the deal that Tiernan made with Achilles, which is like allowing Achilles to choose who gets to marry Tierney. And Tierney's like, fuck. And this apparently happened towards the end of the Handsome Devil book with Tate Blackthorne. And then the next book in this series is supposed to feature the two of them, Achilles and Tierney, which I'm like, that's going to be good. That's going to be good, I feel like. And we get a tiny little breadcrumb that Fenton objects pretty loudly to Tiernan marrying Lila, calling her damaged goods. And how Lila doesn't even look like Velo at all, which we're like, oh.
I was like, hold on.
So true.
What you mean?
What you mean? But also, like, calling her damaged goods, I'm like,
I
you're the one who damaged her, motherfucker.
no shit, right? Well, and I also think
so mad.
it's so frustrating. I think it goes back to like this whole like virgin mentality and stuff and perception that still exists in society today. I'm like, we are not property, therefore I cannot be considered damaged goods.
Yes.
Like,
You don't own this.
no.
No. Ugh. So then 2 weeks later, Lila and Tiernan marry at Crimson Key, the same place where all of this shit went down, where she got raped. And you're like, talk about going back to like a very traumatic place. Like, ugh.
To marry the man that, gave you his eye. If that's
Ew.
not traumatic enough.
Ew. So they basically do this whole thing to just signal that nothing bad is going on. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. The world's burning. Everything's fine. Great. But then we also learn that Luca has made some time of a deal with Tiernan for him to not touch Lila on their wedding night. He's like, I'll pay you a bucket load of money not to touch my sister on her wedding night. And Tiernan's just like, we'll see. He's not known to keep his promises. But that is why the brothers intend to have Tiernan come to the wedding suite well satisfied, thanks to a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader that they provided for him.
I lost it at this point because I was just like, oh, please. My brothers, like if I'm in her spot, my brothers are finding my new husband a woman to have sex with on our wedding night, so he won't have sex with me?
More like a vessel to jack off into, because it's not
Right.
sex if you don't get an orgasm too. Like, you're just literally a hole to be filled.
And I'm just like, can you buy something for that?
Right? There's a fleshlight. Literally. It's like, here. Go.
Like, oh my goodness. But like, how
Yeah.
awkward is that conversation? Like, is there like a group chat of the brothers? Like, who's getting Tiernan someone to get, like, who's going to ensure Tiernan gets laid tonight? Like,
Yeah, right? It's like almost as if it's his bachelor party in a way.
yeah.
You know, they're like, hey, what do you think of this cheerleader? Does she look good? Okay. Oh my God, I hate
Oh
it.
God, it's so wrong.
So then Tiernan has Lila come down to the reception for the speeches, and he makes it very clear there. And this is like a statement that she is his to devour. And anyone who speaks about her, looks at her, or breathes in her direction will be made an example of. Again, now making it clear that she's under his protection. Like, so not only now do you have to be fearful of her Italian mob brothers, but now you got to be fearful of the Italian mob daddy. Mm-hmm. And then he basically makes a huge deal of carrying her out of the room over his shoulder like a sack of potatoes.
Like a sack
and
of
carries
potatoes.
her into the bridal suite. And she's just like, oh shit, what is happening? She just pretends she has
Yes.
no idea what's going on, but really she's like, oh fuck. And she's secretly like able to like use sign language with her mom to like, communicate stuff. And her mom's just like,
Yeah. So alone in the bedroom, Tiernan takes off all of his weapons. There's a lot. He goes in the bathroom, and Lila is so fucking badass. The more every chapter, I was like, I love her. She decides to grab one of his guns with plans to defend herself. And his only comment is like, sweetheart, like you, given the late hour, we should be using a silencer. He like puts a silencer on the gun for her. And I'm just like, oh, God, I love this. And then she fucking shoots him.
She really shoots him.
Like she really shoots him.
She gets turned on by that.
I know. That's my immediate thought was I was like, are you like Castile? Do you like it when they stab you?
Spit stabby. She's a bit shooty.
She's a bit shooty. He has no reaction except to say that if she was a real Callahan, then he would have taken her, he would take her to the shooting range to work on her aim. Then he puts the gun in her mouth, telling her the next time she shoots him, she better not miss or she'll have his cock in her mouth and choke on his cum as her punishment. And I was like, the next time she shoots you?
Yeah, I was like, wait,
why do you think she's gonna shoot you again?
I mean, I think she might.
And also, I don't know if it's punishment.
I don't think it's punishment. I think she'd like it.
Right?
I think he'd like it.
I think he'd like it.
They're very fucked up, and they're perfect for each other.
They're so perfect for each other. So then she breaks the glass, tries to cut him with it, and like all of these attempts to kill him do nothing but turn him on even more. But then he's like kind of nice about it. He makes it clear he's not going to fuck her, at least not tonight. I feel like that's kind of like that, like, well, I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to kill you, just not tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like, cool.
Great. He offers Slayer to sleep in the same bed with him, but she's like, absolutely not. She doesn't say anything, and she goes and sleeps on the bathroom floor instead. The next morning, he teaches her how to stab someone to make it lethal. Because when she cut him, she didn't do a good job. She should have known better. Which is hilarious, because actually she does know better, and she could have really hurt him. So then he has her cut him on the hand so he can add blood to the sheets to prove that she was a virgin. And I was like, for fuck's sake. Like, and then... Right?
Stupid.
So stupid. And then he starts to realize that she isn't developmentally delayed, like everyone thinks. But he hasn't picked up on her being deaf yet. And then she licks his blood. And I was like, did you mean to turn him on more? Because you just did.
I was just saying, like, that's where you knew. I'm like, oh, this is going to go down.
Yes.
This is going to be messy and sticky and great. And I can't wait
to read it.
And I want more. Yay. But yeah, when he told her exactly, like, I want you to cut here to here and da-da-da-da, and then she does exactly, he's like, yeah, she's smart. She knows. But he's like, I'll play with this, I'll keep up the charade for a little bit. See what happens. So then they have the meeting with the Ferrantes. Tiernan tells her brothers that it'll be $80,000 a month for him to not fuck her moving forward. Which is pretty funny, honestly. And then they also discuss the
why
plan.
80,000? Like,
yeah,
that's
why? Where did that number come from?
Like,
I don't know.
I'm just very curious.
Yeah. Why not 69,000? That makes more sense.
Right? Why not 100,000? I just have questions.
Why not 1 million? Who knows?
Right.
But either way, he's like, if you want me not to fuck your sister moving on, like, pay me every month. And I'm like, it's like a rent on her virginity.
Yeah. Well, and it went up. What's funny, I think it was like 50K was the original deal, and then it goes up to 80. And I'm like, because she tried to kill you? Now you're more turned on and you need more incentive to stay away from her? You don't even have normal sex with women.
No, of course not.
Like,
yeah. And then they discuss the plan for taking out the Rasputins. And there is a slight slip up when Tiernan says Moskva instead of Moscow. Yeah. Which is a little breadcrumb for his backstory. Because they're like, why did you say that in Russian? Why did you say Moskva and not Moscow? Like a New Yorker, you know? Yeah. He's like, I meant to say that.
You misheard me.
Well, sorry. He has one eye.
Well, he needs like a slight Italian accent too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or no, sorry. Irish.
He's Irish.
Yeah.
So it's like extra confusing. Like, wait, what? But they don't really think about it too much. But we do. We're like, oh.
I was like, tell me more.
What's happening? So then next, Tiernan takes Lila to his apartment, where her mother has kindly prepared her bedroom like a child's room. Like, complete with her tea and china set and, like, Barbie doll house and, like, everything, because we have to keep up the appearance that she can't think for herself, that she is, like, literally a 3-year-old trapped in an 18-year-old's body. So she's just like, I guess I'll go play with my dolls and pretend I am dumb, which is
Right.
the whole. At this point, she's also just like, what's the point of keeping up this facade? Like, I'm already pregnant and I'm already married to a mobster. Like,
Right.
what's the point? But she's like, whatever. But then we get a flashback now to 25 years ago in Russia, where we see Igor, who had kidnapped Tiernan and Tierney's, who had kidnapped Tiernan and Tierney because of what their father had done. Their father killed Igor's wife. And so as revenge, literally he kidnapped the two of them, but not kidnapped them in the normal way, literally cut them out of their pregnant mother. So they weren't even born. Just like, and of course their mother died. But that's what we get to learn a little bit about who Alex is. Alex is Igor's son and was Tiernan's best friend. But, you know, Igor's an asshole who makes his own children go through these, like, excruciating, like, camps, war camps, to, like, be tougher. And so Tierney's laying there, Tiernan's in the middle, and Alex is on the other side. They're trying to keep Tiernan, like, healthy because he's really, really sick and he's freezing. And Igor's just like, finally, it's time for this guy to die, and, like, goes up to, like, try and, like, take him out. But unfortunately for Igor, he starts to get better. And he's like, damn it. And the only reason he doesn't kill him right then is because it's not what his wife would have wanted. His wife loved children. And he's like, fine, I won't kill this kid.
Not for lack of trying.
Not for lack of trying. Yeah.
A week later, Lila is continuing to avoid her new husband, spending the day at her mom's, coming home to his apartment in the evenings. Although she hasn't had to deal with him, she's been struggling to eat and sleep since the rape, and she hasn't been feeling well. And she's keeping all of it to herself, like not wanting to worry her mother about it. I also question if her mother would be worried about it, given just her mother's overall bitchiness. Her mom does give her a phone for emergencies, as long as Lila promises to never go on the internet. And I understand, like, maybe there's a lot of like crazy shit on the internet. So I do understand, like, a mom worrying about that, not for an 18-year-old child, and also not for all the lies this mom has told her.
It's like, don't go on the internet because then you're going to find out how much of a shitty person I am.
Correct. Not like, hey, FYI, don't believe everything you read on the internet, which I feel like is like, more of like the appropriate parenting.
That
tip.
Should be something, yes. Even for adults.
Also, I was going to say, some adults could learn that as well. Our first breadcrumb about how controlling her mom is, right? And it's how it's more than just trying to prevent Lila, like, from getting married off. Like, there is more to why her mom has, like, locked her down so tightly. And after all, her mom claims that if Tiernan finds out she's not developmentally disabled, then he'll rape her every night, continually get her pregnant, bring his mistresses around her, and beat the shit out of her. And I'm like, well, who wouldn't be terrified by that?
Like, also, you're at this moment, you're like, oh no, Mom, what have you been through? Like,
exactly. Like, that's very specific.
Yeah, I'm like, if you're speaking from experience, like, I'm sorry that you had this trauma for yourself.
But also don't place your trauma on me.
Yeah, no.
So another week later, Lila can't go to sleep and goes to get something out of the kitchen. And she comes upon Tiernan having anal sex with another woman who's dressed basically to look like Lila.
In her own dress.
In her own dress. Like, in the kitchen. And at least this woman has the decency to notice that his wife has come into the room. But Tiernan claims that Lila isn't firing on all cylinders and just the fucking continues. Like, he doesn't stop. And I loved her in this scene because she's like, it's the best move. She just goes about her business. She makes some more milk and honey. She tips her glass up to him before she takes a drink. Like, continue on.
Have fun. Enjoy.
So then Tiernan's like response is to pull out of, her name's Becky, and have her suck his cock in front of Lila. But like, he's not enjoying any of this, ends up throwing Becky out after Lila goes back to her room because Becky isn't his wife. And I was like, oh, the woman that you said you didn't like. convinced that there's more going on with her, he marches into her room trying to figure out if she's like a mole. So now he's like convinced himself that like she was like all of this is a big ruse to like infiltrate his little mob organization. I'm just like, I don't think they're that smart. Or if they're not, right? Or she's playing a game. And her response is to slam the door in his face and lock the deadbolt. And one of my favorite parts was he's like, where did the deadbolt come from?
Yeah.
He's like
I didn't put that there.
I feel like she's kind of like, check. Like if they're playing a game of chess, she's like, check.
And literally like this whole thing is just like a game of chess. And I love it. So good. So next, Tierney stops by to see Lila. I love Tierney so much.
I do too. I cannot wait to read her book.
Oh, it's going to be so good. She stops by because Tiernan is worried about her losing weight. And she just like brings a bunch of food. She's like, I'm gonna make you some food, my famous whatever. Like, you're gonna eat it, you're gonna love it. And she does. And then while she's doing this, Tierney shares how Achilles makes her walk around all the time with a chaperone so that she can't have sex with anyone. Since now he gets to dictate her love life. And she's just like, what the fuck? Like, this is rude. And Tierney also claims to be loyal only to herself, but offers to help Lila because women need to stick together, especially in this chauvinistic underground mafia world. Yeah. Very true. Thank you very much, Tierney. So most importantly now, Tierney gives Lila her phone number and then access to the Wi-Fi because she sees Lila has a phone. She's like, oh, honey, you don't have the Wi-Fi? Here, let me give you this info. Here's my number. Here's Amazon. Here's the world for you now.
Yes.
And it literally only takes just a few hours with internet access for Lila to realize how much her mom has caged her in her entire fucking life. She's like, there are hearing aids. She's like, there are tools for the deaf. And she just gets pissed at her mom, which rightfully so.
Rightfully so. Can you imagine what that had to feel like? Like, well, and I think it's the same feeling that people in like developing countries probably feel when they come to like the United States for the first time, or they come, maybe not the United States right now is a good example, but like literally like Canada. Canada's good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they see kind of like what all is possible, what all is available. Like it's such a shocking experience.
Yes. Honestly, that in itself, I feel like it's just traumatizing for her to be like, I've literally been in the dark, lived in silence because of you. I didn't have to. For no
good reason.
For no good reason, really.
No.
Like, no. So then after visiting Lila, Tierney tells her brother Tiernan to then start paying more attention to his wife. He's like, you need to give her attention. You can't just be doing this to her, locking her away. Not cool. And he's not thrilled by this idea, but he goes into her room and he's snooping around and he finds a sketch of Tate Blackthorne in her sketch pad. And then he finally finds Lila on her phone, like hiding in her closet. He's just like, where is she? And he's like making a bunch of noise, making known that he's in there. And he's like, she's not here. And then he sees her and he's just like, oh, you have a phone? Making it so obvious to him then that she can read. And now, of course, he's also making assumptions that maybe Tate is the baby daddy. Because he's like, she's got this picture of him. What if she wasn't raped? And then he starts getting like really upset, thinking that he's like basically been like caught in this like stupid like ploy to do something. And now he's questioning her. He's like, did you sleep with Tate? Did you do that? He's like, by the way, he would never leave his wife for her. Because Tiernan recently kidnapped Tate's wife.
Yeah.
So he knows how much Tate really loves his wife.
Tate would burn down the world for his wife. Burn it down. That book is so good.
Literally.
That book is so good.
Yeah. And so Lila does not answer him, but instead spits in his face. Which he fucking deserved, to be honest. He did. And also shows that she understands what he's saying. And she's like, fuck you. And then he acts like he's going to hit her, but instead punches the wall instead. And Lila makes a soft little gasp. And he's like, oh, the first sound you've ever made. It's like, she gasps. She makes noise.
She's alive.
She's alive. But it's so fun to see how he's like acknowledging her walls and literally forcing her to knock them down.
Yeah, like he's like almost like pounding on them, I feel like.
Yes.
It's Really fascinating. So then he takes her to an Italian deli where he watches her pick items off the shelf. She has a number at the counter, making it clear like she is not developmentally delayed, like he's been told. She knows exactly what's going on. And then he about loses his shit when this cashier stares at her too much and threatens the guy if he ever looks at her again. The guy should have listened. He does not. He does not listen,
Should
which
have.
we'll talk about later.
Mhm.
They go to eat gelato by the water, and he claims that she can be happy with him as long as she plays by his rules. And he offers to buy her a house next to her parents, let her study, pursue her art. And then the gelato drips all over his palm, and like he throws it away. And then she licks it off so she can see the scar she gave him. And his response is to, I don't know, get turned on even more. And I'm also like,
They're
do you know what
kinky.
you're doing? And I'm like,
They're
do you know what?
kinky
Like,
motherfuckers.
at this point, I'm like, does she know what she's doing? And I don't think she understands like the what's happening like sexually with it.
Mhm.
And then he tells her to stop acting like a fucking dog and licking everything she sees. And I was like, well, I think you kind of liked it, Tiernan. I'm pretty sure you'll like it later. Like, do you really want her to stop that?
I don't think you do, buddy. I think if you pulled something else out, you'd hope she'd be licking it.
Right, with gelato on it. Just
Mhm.
next, he's been shot by another mobster. No biggie. And has Fenton take him home rather than the hospital, which I'm like, also, I mean, I
Tracks.
get it. You don't necessarily make good choices in going to the hospital with a gunshot wound, and who you are is probably not ideal. But also, don't want to die.
Don't be dumb.
Don't be dumb. Then we learned about Fenton's alcohol and gambling problem, which he swears is under control. And all I thought was, sure. Don't believe that at all. When he gets home, he's in like pretty rough shape. He's like kind of quasi blacking out as he's like stumbling everywhere. And Lila comes to check on him, and his response is to use, because her like mouth drops open when she sees him like dripping blood across like the house, is to open her mouth to suck his cock or walk out and let him stitch himself in peace. And I'm like, what? You can barely stand.
And you're gonna start slinging that talk around. Okay.
Right. Okay.
And she's just like literally giving him the dumbest look because she's like, "You're dumb. You are
Like
so
you're
dumb."
you're gonna die. But instead,
Like, by all
she helps
means.
clean him up and stitch him up, which is so nice. But I'm like, why is that your first reaction? Like, she opens her mouth, you're like, let me stick my cock in. Spoiler alert, men, if any are listening, that's never a phrase that any woman's gonna be like, oh my God, yes, please.
Yes, I would love it. Please. They're gonna be like,
Jesus.
"You pull that thing out, I'm gonna cut it off." I wouldn't put it
Well,
past Lila. She would.
I wouldn't either.
So then 3 days later, Tiernan meets with Luca, Achilles, Fenton, and Sam Brennan, who is an ex-mobster. Now, they're reviewing all the footage of the wedding because they still want to figure out who the fuck did this to Lila. And based on everything they've seen, Sam has written down 15 men who left the room during this time frame when Lila was raped. And their whereabouts are unknown. And 2 people on this list are Tate Blackthorne and Angelo Bandini. And Tiernan right there wants to tell everybody. He's like, I want to know. I want to tell, you find out where this person went the next day, what they had for lunch, who their mother is, all this stuff. He's like, except for that guy, because he's super old and was on oxygen, and there's no way he did this. Which the brothers are like, hey, you never know. And he's like, no, this guy didn't do it.
Yeah.
We can cross him off. It's okay. But we only then find out of basically 3 people on this list.
Yeah.
We know
We
it's
never
Tiernan.
find out the whole list.
Yeah, we never found out the whole list. Yeah, so we got Tate, we got Angelo, and super old man.
That's it.
Who are the other 12?
Right.
So, but before that ever happens, we get a flashback to 20 years ago, where Tiernan and Tierney are working in the work camp back in Russia, and Alex wants them to play marbles with him. Because, he's a kid. He's like, I want to play with me, my best friends. But Tiernan doesn't think it's worth the risk of dying over. Because he's like, even though we're friends, we can't play. I can't do that.
Tiernan's not wrong. Marbles are not worth dying.
No. He's like, that's not worth dying over. However, he finally agrees because Tierney wants to do it so badly. She wants to play. So afterward, Igor forces Alex to then play another game called Russian Roulette. He's like, oh, you want to play? Here's a game. Loads it with 3 bullets, spins it, and has him point it at Tiernan and Tierney and shoot. Neither one of them dies, but oh my God. I think like they peed their pants.
I mean, can
Because
you imagine
holy
the trauma?
shit. Yeah, like here,
For
you
all
want to
three
play a
of them.
game?
Yeah.
Like shoot one of your friends. What the fuck?
I know. So
Igor
next,
deserved to die.
he did. Oh God, he did. Yes.
Mhm.
A long time ago, actually.
Mhm.
So next, Lila has an OBGYN appointment, and Tiernan is taking her, which she is super thrilled about. Not at all. Because her mother is supposedly under the wire. Lies, lies, lies. She doesn't want to go, and he gives her two options. Well, option one, he breaks her phone, which he like gets from her little hiding spot in her closet. And option two, he links his PayPal account to her phone, and she can buy everything on her secret list that he like pulls out of her drawer. And I'm like, I love you because you're a snooper. And she's like, also, fuck, I do the same thing in his room when he's gone.
Yeah,
Which
she
I'm
does.
like, chef's kiss. Then they get to the doctor's office, and Leela's female doctor is unavailable. And Tiernan makes it pretty much clear, like, people will die if a male doctor touches her. Because he senses, like, Leela's fear about that and ensures she gets a female doctor. And then it's really, I actually really struggled with this part because she doesn't know how to put on, like, a medical gown correctly. Like, she does it in the front. And so, like, when he comes back in, he has to help her with it. And it's just, like, it's crazy how much she doesn't know because of what her mother did. And then, like, the doctor wants a vaginal ultrasound, which are not fun to begin with. Like, let's be honest.
No.
And Tiernan makes it clear that it'll be, like, an abdominal check only. But then Leela's like, she puts her hand on him, like, no, it's okay. Like, and then she struggles. He ends up having the doctor leave. They end up coming back in. He ends up holding her hand, and, like, she buries her head in his neck. And I was like, this is, like, a really important moment between the two of them. And then my favorite part is the doctor's like, oh, the baby is due in February. And Tiernan's like, it is, or no, the baby's due in Christmas, like around Christmas. It's due in February. And the doctor's like, it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
It's due in February. And if the baby arrives early, like in December, wonderful. Because he wants that storyline of Lila getting pregnant, like after their wedding to continue. Mm-hmm. And then it's hard for Lila because, like, in that moment, she thought he might care for her. Because he was incredibly sweet. And then she starts to realize he wants to control the narrative. All the decisions are being made. He's not asking her opinion about any of this. Because he's like, also, it'll be a home birth. And then, you know, to add insult to injury, the front desk receptionist slips him her number when they walk out. Oh, right?
Oh. Who does that?
Right? A lot of women, apparently.
Oh. So even with his one eye, he's still catching girls, you know?
Even
but
with
still, you're like, fuck.
He also kind of, like, threatened the receptionist, if you think about it. Because, like, wasn't that who he was like, no, she will see a female doctor? Mm-hmm. And you're still turned on and you want to give him his number with his pregnant wife?
Yeah. What the fuck?
I'm so confused. I mean, to each his own, I guess. So she goes to visit her mom the next day, and Lila learns that her pregnancy is too much for her mother.
Oh, is it?
Oh,
it's too much.
What was you? Because you're the one that'll be pushing the baby out your hoo-ha later. Like,
yay.
And that's why she didn't come. And then her mother also claims that Luca is working on a way to get Lila out of her marriage by having her marry Angelo. And I'm like, oh, great. You want me to divorce my husband and marry another man I don't want to marry. And I'm being talked about by other people without my knowledge. Love that for me. And Lila's like, I don't want to marry Angelo. And then her mom then is like, are you letting him touch you? And Lila's like, no. But, like, also, what the actual fuck? And her mom just, like, once again, tries to control the situation. Yeah. It's all about her mom.
All about her mom. All the time. Yes. Super narcissist. Oh, my God. Which, like, when you find out about the mom's past, you can kind of, like, sympathize and be like, okay, I understand why in your fucked up mind you thought you were doing the right things, but you weren't doing the right things.
No.
And you're still not acting correctly and, like, being what you need to be. Like, you need some therapy. Holy shit.
A lot of it.
And also up to this point, like, you are assuming Angelo is the rapist.
Right.
You're just like, he's got to be. It's got to be him. And I was like, oh, it's that guy. Done. Mm-hmm. I know it. Which should have been my first clue. It wasn't him. It's never what you suspect.
No. I just never expected it to be Tiernan's brother. Like,
No. Oh, shit. So we think it's Angela at this point. We hate her mom. You know, Tiernan is kind of being a gentleman by not touching her, but
yeah.
also like teasing her violently.
Poking.
So then, but not the poking we like.
No.
So then when Lila gets home, she finds Tiernan in her room with that doctor's receptionist. The one that's
like on her bed.
On her bed, face down. And there is the sketch that she made of Tate that is all torn up on the floor. And I'm like, oh, jealous,
Someone's
buddy.
jealous.
Damn. And she is so pissed. And she finally has had enough. And she decides to speak for the first time to him. And she literally looks at Tiernan and tells him to go fuck himself. Or no, go ahead and go fuck her. And you're like, oh. And she leaves the room. And he knows. He's like, oh, I got her now. I got her to finally stop this act. And he follows her and admits, he's like, I know you're deaf. I know this. I know you can talk. I know you can understand. Because he then shares with her how he's been dropping loud items purposely in the room with her back turned. And she never responded. Like, not even a flinch. And he's like, that confirms my suspicions.
Like, how long was that going on?
No idea. No idea.
Like, that's my first thought was like, how long have you been doing this? Couldn't you have just asked?
Yeah. And it's funny because she's like, well, that explains all like the broken vases and like stuff around. Yeah. She's like, why is there glass everywhere? I don't understand. It's like, he's trying to get your attention. And then he does share, this is really sweet. This is also where you know that they're like meant to be.
Yes.
That he and Tierney both speak ASL. And he asks her to tell him something, like anything. And she finally tells him, get rid of your whore. And you're like,
I'm so proud of her.
So
it was
good.
Like, oh, it was like the first little
good.
Italian spunk we get from her. Like, and I was just like, oh.
It's like, she may be deaf, but do you remember who her family is? She will fuck you up. And she will be spicy about it. Love it. She's a spicy little pepperoni. So, which he does. And he tells the receptionist that, like, you're done. Your purpose is done here. Like, you were literally only brought here to make my wife mad enough to yell at me. So, Lila then is just like, I'm going to make this extra spicy. Picks up Tiernan's gun and points it at the receptionist for an extra, like, get the fuck out. Which she's like, noted. See ya.
Bye.
It's like, okay, bye. So then Lila tells Tiernan about how she was raised and the whole, like, misdiagnosis that happened to her that put her mother on the path to convincing everyone she even had this developmental disability to allegedly protect her. Sure. So then they discuss how she's not in love with Tate, but she's just fond of him because he was kind, gave her a dance, and, like, that was her dream to be normal. And then also her dream to just, like, hear music and to dance one day. And Tiernan's just like, if you want, like, I'll help you, like, get an abortion. And, like, you can portray this whole thing as a miscarriage, like, if that's what you want. But you need to stay married to me because I need this alliance with your family, all this stuff. And then he tells her, like, if she decides to keep the baby, he'll never love it or regard it as his own. But she's, like, making it very clear. She's like, I want this baby. I've always hoped to have a baby one day. I never thought this would happen to me, so I'm keeping it. And she's so pissed off now about just, like, having to basically, like, be in this situation. She's mad. And now she has to sleep here in her room where this other woman was just in here. And his answer is, come into my room. If you don't want to be in there, come into my room. Because no woman has been in there before. And you're like, oh. Interesting.
I like this.
Yes. And he's also like, by the way, there's a $6 million bounty on the head of anyone who's ever stupid enough to look in your direction. So you don't even think about trying to go get some on your own. Because, like, she kind of threatens that at one point. She's like, oh, if you can have a mistress, I can have someone. He's like, huh, nice try. They'll be dead.
They have a death wish.
Yes, like, they will literally be dead.
Also, can you imagine her trying to date?
Oh, that'd be hard. That'd be so hard.
I know.
It's not gonna happen, honey. And then he's like, oh, by the way, you can't miss dinner with me ever again without a good reason. Because it's a sacred time between the two of us. And you won't miss it.
I was just like, you don't talk to her.
Yeah, like, you don't, what are you talking about? It kind of reminded me a little bit of like Beauty and the Beast, where the Beast is like banging on Belle's door, like, you're gonna come to dinner. Like, you have to. If you don't eat, you don't eat at all. Like, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, maybe be nice.
Maybe nice. Use our words in polite ways.
Use our words. Whichever words you have, via hands or mouth.
But not open your mouth and stick my cock in it. I mean, you can use that, but in a different situation. Okay. So Tiernan is also pissed about how Lila's family has treated her. Now that he's like kind of found out everything, he decides to take his anger out on her brothers and their golf clubs first, which I felt like was very appropriate. And I thought
this is so mafia. So mafia.
I loved it. And he shares how she's not intellectually impaired. And they're all pissed that their mother kept it from them. And they're like, we need to go talk to our mother. And Tiernan's like, that's why I came to see you first, so you can stop me from killing your mom. And I was like, oh shit.
Oh shit.
Which
you do feel a little redemption here for her brothers. They didn't know.
They didn't know.
Well, one of them.
Achilles kind of had a suspicion, but yeah.
But like they didn't know, and they're mad for her. They're like, she missed out on an entire life so far because of this. Like, that's fucked up. Like, they're mad. They're protecting their sister.
And I loved how Enzo was like, I could have talked to you and we could have gossiped.
We can gossip about everything. And she's like, there's still time.
Always.
So cute.
So a lot is said when they go to confront Lila's mother. Luca makes it very clear that everyone has to learn ASL, which I was super proud of him for like doing. Fellow is angry about losing a good business deal by having Lila in an arranged marriage, most likely to Alex. Like, if he would have known this, he could have had a good deal and married her off to someone else. And I'm just like...
I mean, you're proving the point why the mother did this whole thing in the first place.
Exactly. Tiernan tells her mother that he would basically do anything to keep his wife, including killing her mother. Ooh. Like, he's just like, I will kill you. Yes. And then he plans to take Ima with him. But her mother doesn't understand how that's possible. She's like, you have 2 bedrooms. Where will she sleep? And he's like, well, Lila sleeps with me. And I was just like, bomb, mic drop, boom. Like.
And she's just like,
oh, the audacity.
My daughter was a whore.
My daughter's having sex. Oh my God, to her husband.
Oh no. So next, God forbid.
God forbid.
Next, there is another meeting to discuss the potential suspects of who raped Lila. And Fenton now has a very strong reaction to learning that Lila actually doesn't have a developmental disability and that she can speak.
Huh. I didn't notice that at first. Like, I just thought nothing of it. Like, because it was very similar to the reaction that like her brothers had. Like, oh my God, like we didn't know this.
Yes, but now he's like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. You're like, and then he asks Lila, like, why can't you help with who attacked you? Like, how come you can't help us? And he just shares, oh, she doesn't remember his face. He's like, phew.
Thank God. It would be interesting to have a chapter in his POV from like one of these scenes. Like, what is he thinking when he's learning all of this information? Because he's super twisted.
Yeah, he's really
especially twisted. At the very
not
end,
in a good way.
No,
he's fucked up.
Yes.
It's
and
not
what
good.
was his bigger plan? Was he like trying to take out Tiernan too? I mean, I think so, but yeah,
trying to take over.
I know
it's bad. So then we see Tiernan take Lila to the shooting range, which is a huge step forward for them, considering his earlier comment about only teaching his real wife how to shoot a gun. He's like, if you were a real Callahan, we would have gone to the shooting range. And like, now they're there. They're at a shooting range. So it's pretty sweet. And he also got her a hot pink gun, custom made for her. And then he ends up kissing her. You're like,
oh God. It was good.
Oh my God, that kiss was so good. But again, her innocence, she gets turned on and gets wet for the very first time. And she's like, something's wrong with me. I think I peed myself. And he is such a sweetheart because he is so loving to her in this moment because he realizes, like, you don't understand what's happening to your own body. And explains to her just like, in a sexy way, he explains it to her too. He's like, oh, you are going to be very wet for me very often. And you are going to love every fucking minute of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Thank you.
Yes. Do it again. Do it again.
Right?
Oh my God, so good. And then we get a flashback to 15 years ago, and we find out how Tiernan and Tierney learned ASL. It is basically while they were being held in that work camp by Igor, asshole. And there's this other prisoner there, basically, who speaks ASL because his wife was deaf. And he makes a deal with Tiernan to basically help him out, teach him ASL to help, and then get out of Russia. So Tiernan's like, okay, I'll give you my food, I'll give you my clothes, this guy Michael. You teach me ASL, and you help me get out of Russia.
Yeah.
We're like, that sounds like a good deal. Because this guy Michael, this prisoner, he's going to die any day. And he's like, let me teach you what I know so you can maybe survive. Like, you're young. Like, go to this place. My wife's been paying this guy money years to show up to take me out. Just tell them I sent you. Take my spot.
Yep. So we have to look for the attacker. Tiernan has captured Tate Blackthorne by hijacking his plane and making it come to New York City, and has him hooked up to a lie detector, and he passes every single one of the questions. He's telling the truth. Turns out he was with his wife Gia during that time frame. He went to the store to get some candy or drinks. He pulls up receipts like as further proof. However, Tate not being the attacker causes Tiernan to become more convinced that it's Angelo. And now he starts to spiral down this path of, well, if it's Angelo, and then we find that out, Vela will force Lila to divorce him and marry Angelo. So he decides, I therefore will be an asshole to Lila.
Ugh.
Saying how he doesn't care about the baby. It's an inconvenience to him. And like he knows for the first time that he's hurt her feelings, and it really bothers him, which is like a huge turning point, I think. So then
nobody doesn't give a shit at all. He's like, I don't care if I hurt someone's feelings.
Right. Yeah.
And now he's like,
it bothers him. He was a real asshole. So then Tierney and Lila go shopping, and they got to lunch, and the cashier from the deli that we saw earlier is their waiter. And he follows her when she goes to the bathroom, claiming that he knows she watches him. And I was like, dude, she does not watch you. Jesus. Then he tries to assault her before Tierney steps in. And then we also learn that Tierney had a hysterectomy at 12.
Oh.
I know. By a vet. We learned that later.
Oh.
And how she believes Lila is breaking down Tiernan's walls. And I'm like, when you say walls, do you mean fortress? And steel?
But I don't say vice versa.
3 feet deep.
Like, he's breaking down her walls.
Yes, he is. They're a little easier to break down than his.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. You already know, like, that waiter is going to
die.
Like, get shit coming to him. She's like, yeah. Tierney's like, yeah, you better run. You better run. My brother's going to come after you. Like, get your passport. Get out of town. Like,
woo. Like, did Tierney just immediately text him? Is that
Pretty
what
much,
happened? Yeah. Like, FYI.
I think Tierney likes the chase. She likes people to get, like, a head start, you know?
She's a pot stirrer, and I love that.
She is. She's just like...
Stir in the pot.
She's like, you're going to lose your dick. You're going to lose your dick.
I didn't expect that. I did not expect him to cut off his penis.
I thought he would just be dead.
That's what I thought, too. This is actually, I think, a more, like, appropriate punishment.
I mean, yes, true. So, now, Lila gets home. Tiernan apologizes for being an asshole earlier. And she's like, oh, he's apologizing. You. He's learned something. He's like, got a present for you, baby. Open the box. She's like, what's in the box? He's like, it's the penis of that waiter who attacked you earlier. And she's like,
it's not a gift.
Which I also thought about, like, what's it called? The Jimmy Fallon and Justin Timberlake song, like, it's a dick in a box.
That's what I thought of too, and I was like, nobody wants that.
Nobody wants a dick in a box. At least not that.
Yeah.
I don't want a bloody dick in a box.
No.
I'd be like, can you return to sender?
I don't need that. Yeah, no, thank you. Okay. But I guess, like, dildos do come in boxes. That's the only...
I do like...
So that's like the only exception, I guess.
I'll take a pretend penis in a box. That one's okay. That's okay. So there's that. And she's just like, no, thank you. I don't want this. And he's like, okay, how about I take you out on a date? But she refuses until he agrees to answer any questions that she asks for an entire hour. She's like, okay, fine. Go. Let me ask you whatever I want and I'll go on a date with you. So they go downstairs to his bar, where Fenton works, by the way. And Lila is triggered by a vase of roses, because they remind her of the rose tiara that she was forced to wear the night of that wedding. And that's the night she was raped. And apparently the roses, first of all, were like digging into her head. And so they hurt a lot, number one. But they became red from the blood from her. And so she's just traumatized, obviously. And then Tiernan tells Fintan, like, get rid of those. He's like, knocks them over. He's like, the bar can't have any more flowers ever. Which this is so fucked up when you find out later how those were the exact same ones.
Yes, like almost like he's taunting her.
I know. Like he's trying to get her to remember it was him.
Yeah, or he's just that fucked up where like it gives him some sort of like weird power, like to
joy.
Enjoy.
He gets high.
Ugh.
I don't like him. So he's like, no more flowers. And Fintan's like, okay. But he's also like, it's working. She's going to remember me. I don't know. So Tiernan now is answering all of her questions about him, tells her the story about his mother, how he was born, all that fucked up shit, and growing up in the work camp. And then Tiernan is also very worried about how little sleep Lila is getting. And he wants to help her out, and he wants to give her some sleeping pills. But Tierney's like, no, she's pregnant. That's not a good idea. Like, you will hurt the baby. Or, don't do that. She's like, so why don't you try a good old-fashioned, I don't know, orgasm? Because it's science.
And he doesn't know about this.
He doesn't know. He's like, I never give women orgasms. I'm like,
what do you mean it helps him sleep?
Yeah. So he's just like, let me text my buddy, Ryland, who's a former male escort and is the MMC of Wildest Dreams.
So
yes,
good.
Please. He's like, I need some advice. Let me text my buddy. He's like, I don't do anything but anal and blowjobs, so I don't know what the fuck this is. And Ryland suggests, go down on her. And he sends him a video that Ryland made. Like a, not necessarily a porno. Yeah, it's a how-to, not a porno, but I guess it could be. Of Ryland demonstrating on a blow-up doll. Like, here is the clitoris. You do the ABCs, and then you go up and down and sideways, and then you suck, and then you do this and this and this. And he's like, and then Tiernan's like, by the way, this conversation never happened.
I feel like that video needs to be sent out just like...
Yes.
Just saying.
It's very funny. But I'm just like, oh, you're about to get the Poppy treatment, because Poppy also knows that orgasms help you sleep.
Right?
At times. So now we get our first spicy scene between Lila and Tiernan, where he decides to very respectfully tells her, like, I have a way to help you sleep, but it's going to require me to touch you. Do I have permission to touch you?
Yes.
Which, again, following the trauma of everything that's happened to her, he's been looking out for her this entire time. Like,
he has.
No male doctors. Even with the female doctor, he's like, don't touch her here. Don't do this. Like,
he has to touch her always. Like, consent is king with him.
Yeah. And so he goes down on her. And it's funny because he was just like, okay, if you want me to stop, just like grab my hair. And so she grabs his hair and he's just like, what? And she's like, no, don't stop. I was close. And he's like, okay. Like, goes back. And so he gets her off. She gets to sleep. And he also jacks himself off into the mattress. And he's like, well, that's a first. But science worked and Lila got to sleep. Yay.
Yay. So
orgasms. It's science.
Right? We can't argue with science. We flash back 14 years. Tiernan and Tierney have been planning their escape for a year. They've been communicating in ASL so no one can find out, like in the dark even. The only thing left to do...
You need some light to see.
I thought about that too. Like, how does that work?
That doesn't work.
The only thing left to do is get this code to the main gate from Alex. Tiernan lies to him about why he needs it, promising they won't leave him. But like then obviously they're gone the next morning. Next, we see Lila give Tiernan a birthday present in July because even though his birthday's in December, she understands like not wanting to celebrate the day his mother died, which I totally get. And he gives her, or she gives him this cross necklace that he refuses to wear because like he's not into jewelry and he's not Catholic. Which like, I mean, I get it.
Sure.
And then Ima,
but it's so sweet because she's like, but I want you to know that somebody cares
loves
about
you
and
someone's
wants you to be safe
and praying for you and all those things. Mm-hmm. And he's like never gotten a birthday gift before, so it's a pretty big deal. And then Ima demands that Lila goes to her parents' house for dinner on her mother's birthday. And Leela is surprised to learn that her husband already knew about it and was planning to go with or without her. And I was like, oh, hell no. And that frustrates Layla, which leads to a spicy scene where Tiernan finger fucks her and then stops before letting her have an orgasm. And I was like, how fucking rude. I was like, oh, payback's gonna be a bitch, Tiernan. Two can play at this game.
Exactly. So at dinner, Leela is giving Tiernan the silent treatment, which he definitely deserves, of course. But she is also sitting on his lap and letting him know, you could have this, but you're not going to because I'm mad at you. But Tiernan also now gets an update from Sam that Alex has landed in Vegas with reinforcements approximately 11 hours ago and believes, okay, it's going to be about 4 to 5 weeks probably before Alex tries to retaliate for the murder of his father. And so the plan now is to take 20 soldiers with Tiernan, Achilles, and Luca, and they're just like planning all this shit out, like at the dinner table,
Normal conversation.
Normal, totally normal. Yeah.
Perfect.
Meanwhile,
buffet.
Yes, Leela, I love this because I think Leela is doing this both to Tiernan and to her mom. Like a big fuck you. So she's in a cute little dress, by the way. Super, like she's looking snatched. She's looking great. She's feeling herself. And just sitting on Tiernan, sitting on his lap, her little booty rubbing up against his dick. And she's just like, oh, I gotta reach for this. Oopsies. And he's just like biting his knuckle, like, fuck, this is hard.
I'm hard.
And I'm hard, and oh boy. And then her mother calls her out. She's like, this is very unbecoming behavior. I didn't realize my daughter was a whore. Like terrible. And Leela responds by signing how her husband fucks her senseless every night. Which isn't technically true, but also, by the way, Enzo is learning ASL, and he's just like, damn, Leela, damn. And the other boys are like, wait, what'd she say? What'd she say? I don't know. What'd she say? Which is really funny. And even though this isn't technically true, like, she has not been fucked yet, but he does at least deliver her orgasms. So
that's a first for him.
That's great. It's first for him, first for her. It works. And now literally Leela is just like dry humping the shit out of Tiernan at the dinner table. He's just like,
everyone.
And she's just like, he's like, I gotta go to the bathroom really quick. And he's like, I gotta go rub this shit out and like figure out my life. And she follows him. And this leads to agreement then to never use sex as a weapon against her. And that he will always tell her where he's going, what he's doing, and who he's with, as long as she promises not to show up to it. Fair. Because he's just like, I want to keep you safe. I don't want you to know.
I do bad shit.
I do bad shit all the time with bad people. I don't want you to worry. And she's just like, fuck me in my room. Let's go.
My parents' house.
Because he's also like, I'm not going to fuck you in the bathroom where like the staff come. He's like, let's go to your room. Let's go fuck in your bedroom. Your weird ass fuck baby doll bedroom that your mom made. Weird. But yay, they finally have sex. Yay. You're so happy. And again, he's very about like consent, like, here it comes. You okay? Yeah. You good? Tap twice? You good? Okay, great. So, yay. So then we get a little flashback really quick to 13 years ago, where Tiernan and Tierney are reunited with their family in London. They've escaped. All seems to be okay. The only problem is they don't know English. They just know Russian and ASL. So Fintan helps them both to learn how to use like an Irish accent and like how to learn like the Irish culture. And it's one of the reasons why Tiernan originally develops a very close bond with Fintan. And like you think like, okay, he's like the best brother, like he's so great. Tierney, on the other hand, really struggles to forgive her entire family for what happened to her. She's like, she's mad. She's like, you guys didn't come and save us. Like, we had to endure all of this. I had to get a hysterectomy when I was 12. Like,
crazy shit.
She got fucked up. Yeah. And although Tiernan is glad to be with the family, he's also struggling a lot. And he honestly has a very low point where he tries to unalive himself until Fintan stops him and reminds him, like, you need to keep living. Number one, to get revenge on Igor. Like, you need to kill this motherfucker. Like, live for revenge if you must.
Yeah.
It's like, and then maybe you'll find something else to live for. And so then we learn that Tiernan was always going to kill Igor. and then give himself 1 year to find something else worth living for, or he would take his own life. Which explains now why some of the chapter titles are like countdown.
To like destruction.
Like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're like, oh.
I know. It takes on a different meaning.
That's dark. That's
yeah.
bad.
So next, Tiernan takes Lila to a safe house to practice outdoor shooting and tells her what to do if things get really bad. Like, basically, if all of my family dies, all of your family is dead, here's what you do. And I'm like, that sounds really, like, does she have a chance from that situation if everyone's dead?
Yeah, this is going to be bad.
Yeah. And then he reminds her to never panic shoot if a target's moving, which is another little breadcrumb for later. When they get back, Lila finds out that Tiernan plans to go to Vegas this week to take out Alex. And then things escalate slightly because she finds a note in her apartment talking about her bastard child and how she needs to bring $150,000 in cash to a meeting spot next week. And if she tells her husband that she and the baby will both die. And Lila's like, well, I don't want to tell Tiernan because he has a lot going on. I'm like, I mean, yeah, but also,
you should probably still tell him.
You probably should tell him. Also, she doesn't want the secret about the baby to get out, and she doesn't want to lose her husband, right? Like,
you know what's crazy to me in this moment? I'm like, aren't there security cameras everywhere?
That's what I thought. Like, how did no one notice? Also, where's Tierney's like staff?
Yeah, like, how did no one see whoever this was? And again, maybe they did have security cameras, but he was able to, snub them out or something. But I'm just like, there's no way you couldn't have figured this out. Like, you had security cameras at the wedding venue that you're reviewing. Like, surely you have a camera pointed at your door to see who's coming and going. Surely you do.
I would assume so, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 3 days later, Tiernan takes Lila to see an audiologist about a cochlear implant, and the plan is for her to have surgery after the baby is born. Like, so much of her life has started to change. And that's also when she realizes that she's in love with Tiernan and decides to tell him about the letter after he's back from Vegas. She doesn't want to lose him, but she doesn't want to lie to him. And I was like, okay, I feel like that's a good compromise.
Sure. But now it's time to go to Vegas. And shit's going to go down. But before Tiernan flies out, he learns that Tierney has been talking to an FBI agent about the Kimura. She's like, this is bad. This is very, very bad. So the Kimura, again, are Lila's family. And she's just like, I'm just tired of my current life. I want a normal life. I don't want to be looking over my shoulder every 2 seconds. I also just want to ruin Achilles' life because he's a dick. Which
he deserves it.
He does deserve it, but also I'm like...
I mean, I'm kind of torn because I feel like there's more to his story than we don't know. But I'm also like, why are you so fucking difficult, Achilles?
Right? Seriously. And he's just like, you're so stupid. Like, don't do this. Like, stop. Like, I can't save you. Like, and I won't save you. And you're like, ooh, yikes. But then Tiernan's like, I got other stuff I gotta do right now. He stops at a sex shop to get Lila some toys to ensure that she can sleep while he's gone. And I gotta say, I'm like, I approve of these toys that you bought. Like, you bought a very nice clitoral, like, suction stimulator. I'm like, huzzah. Everyone, right now, run to your local store and get one for yourself. They are amazing. They will help you sleep at night. It's science. But Lila is like, I don't want this. I don't need this. She's like, it wasn't the orgasms that made me fall asleep. Yes, it was. She's like, but it was me feeling safe in your arms. Mm-hmm. Which you're like, oh.
So sweet, right?
So
or
sweet.
A combination, too, of both of them.
It was both. It was the orgasm and then the cuddling. In that order. And this then leads to another spicy scene where Tiernan goes down on her and then fucks her. Very nicely. Like,
well done.
Oh, love it. My only complaint, and this is a technicality, like, obviously she's very pregnant. I'm like, there's only so many transitions and positions you can do when you're pregnant. Like, it gets difficult. And there was one little note where he was just like, licking and sucking on her boobs. And he's like, oh, the milk. I'm like, there's no milk yet. That threw me off. Where I was just like, there is no milk. That is not true. That's colostrum. If anything, I'm like, that is not milk. Stop it. She does not have milk yet until after the baby comes. This is not science. That's just my 2 points. Other than that, I enjoyed it. It was very nice. But I got a little turned off by that because I was like, this isn't real. How dare you?
That's what you pick up this book not being real.
That's what I picked up. I was like, there's no milk in her pregnant titties yet. That's not gonna happen.
But a man getting his eye cut out and not flinching feels very authentic.
That's very real. Yes. Yeah, for sure. Okay. So that happens. And then before he leaves, Lila gives Tiernan a portrait that she drew of him and tells him that she loves him and begs him not to go. And he puts on the cross necklace that she previously gave him and tells her, don't follow me. You're like,
dun, dun, dun.
Shit.
But also, I feel like that was his way of saying I love you back without being able to say it.
Mm-hmm, exactly. So now we're in Vegas. Achilles tells Tiernan that he knew Lila wasn't developmentally disabled when he found her one time reading War and Peace at age 12.
That's crazy.
He's like, yeah. So nuts. And he's like, yeah. But I was just like, you know what? It's her secret to tell. She'll tell me one day if she wants to, like, whatever. And he eventually says he kind of tried to help her escape from their mother by, like, supporting the whole marriage thing to Tiernan. He's like...
6 years later.
You know... Yeah, he's like, I figured, like, our mom projects all of her trauma onto Lila. Maybe you are her Achilles heel. I'm like, oh, nice. I see what you did there, Achilles. You used your own name.
And maybe Tierney is yours.
Story. Maybe she is. So then Tiernan offers to give up Harlem if Achilles lets go of the deal about Tierney. But he's just like, no, I'm not going to do that. Tierney knows too much. I'm not letting her go. And he's like, all right, well. He's like, I only promise one thing, and I'll make sure she's happy. That's it. You're like, sorry, Tierney. Well, he tried.
She's not happy right now.
Yeah, it's like she's not happy. She's probably not going to be happy. You're not letting her have orgasms. It's not fair.
Yeah.
So then fighting ensues. We're in the desert just outside of Vegas. They've tracked all of, like, the cars and stuff. Like, shit's going down. They're shooting. There's a grenade inside one of the cars, which you're like, fuck, how did anyone survive that? But Alex did. Tiernan opens up the car door, finds Alex with, like, body parts all on top of him, which you're like, ew. Ew. Mafia. What are you gonna do?
It makes sense.
And so he just, takes him hostage and takes him back to Alex's warehouse where they have other members of their team stationed and, like, ready to, like, take shit down. And this is when Tiernan finally feels like, this has been too easy. That was a little too easy to just, like, find you and, like, bring you here. Meanwhile, while that's happening, Lila goes to her OBGYN appointment with Tierney, and on their way there, car accident.
Boom.
And you're just like, oh, fuck, that's not good.
That's not good.
That is not good. Mm-mm.
So then while Alex and Tiernan are talking, Alex shares how much he knows about Tiernan's life, like intimate details, like how Lila shot him on their wedding night and everything. And there's definitely a mole. It's someone inside Tiernan's organization. Alex also claims that he directed his father into Tiernan's path so Tiernan could kill me. And I'm like, excuse me, what the fuck? What? Apparently, Alex didn't like his father or the way that he ran the organization, but he couldn't kill him. So he heard Tiernan wanted to, and so he made it happen. And I'm like, thank you?
I really got to work on our communication skills here.
Right.
Like a penis in a box. Here's my father for you to kill.
Like, it's very interesting.
Yeah. It's like this whole thing could have been avoided. Been like, you know what? I agree. I don't like how my daddy did stuff. You can kill him.
Like, talkie people.
Talkie.
Supposedly Alex wasn't planning to take Tiernan out. He just wanted to clear things up with them, go their separate ways. And I'm like, the mafia wants to be friends with the other I don't think this is how it's supposed to work, Alex.
Yeah.
But during this conversation, Fenton keeps calling Tiernan and he keeps declining the calls. And then Alex shares how his team has been waiting in an underground bunker. And he's like, and 5, 4. And then, like, explosions happen. Yeah. But there's some fighting. They're attacking. Alex declares a ceasefire. And then Lila's phone calls Tiernan, but it's actually Fenton on the phone. And he tells him about the accident and that Lila's badly hurt. He rushes home. He has, like, enormous regret about never acknowledging the pregnancy. He, like, threatens the pilot to go 600 miles an hour. Like, gun to his head. Everyone's like, this is not, like, he's trying to fly the plane. Like, you need to stop. He's like, here, I pushed it to, like, 500 and whatever, 97. Yeah. Or can you just go now?
Yeah. And the pilot's, like, pissed his pants. And he's just like, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God.
But, like, also, don't you think if a pilot works for the mafia, like, they kind of know what to expect? In my world that is made up in the
Right.
where this
Makes
is real,
sense.
Megan. Like,
Right,
I
this
feel
is
like
real.
they would know. This would just be
They would
like a
know.
Tuesday.
Yes, absolutely. Every day. Not the milk. So now we're at the hospital. Tiernan is relieved to learn that like Lila and the baby are gonna be okay, which is truly a miracle, honestly. Like they survived this like bad accident where she like felt like stuff hitting her. Like, oh my God, how is that baby gonna be okay? I don't
I
know.
know. I was very worried they were going to lose the baby.
Yes. And Tierney realizes that she's no longer her brother's number one because he went to go see Lila first and not his sister, which I'm like, oh, yeah.
That's how it should be.
And yeah. And
Some
then now,
moms could take that into consideration.
right?
Like when
Maybe.
their sons get married.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. So then again, like Tierney's realizing all this, and now she wants to sacrifice the Ferrantes to save herself. She's like, I want to give them up. I want to tell the FBI everything all about them. Like, because no one's gonna save me. I gotta save myself. And I'm like, ooh, don't think that's a good idea. Because Tiernan then contemplates allowing Achilles to marry Tierney. But he doesn't mention it to her. He's just like, maybe this could work. Maybe this could solve some problems. But I'm not going to bring it up right now while my sister's in the hospital too. Bad time. And then Tiernan realizes for himself that Lila is now his reason to live, in addition to the baby. And he's just like, I can't believe I almost lost her. This was so stupid of me. Like, and then when the second that Lila wakes up, Tiernan says, I love you. And how he will love this baby and he will just always love her more. He's like, I'll always love you more than the baby, but I love the baby, but I love you more. And you're like, these are good steps. Proud moment for you. It took you going to Vegas and like fighting and shit, but like finally you got there. So then Lila's mom comes into the hospital room and we learn here that Lila is not actually Velo's child, which is something that we kind of suspected earlier in the book. Her mother never wanted to marry Velo, but she was forced into that marriage by her father. So she's just like, I didn't want this to happen to you. It makes sense. And apparently Velo raped her mother many, many times. And that's how Luca and Achilles were conceived. But there was like one night of like consensual sex, and that's how Enzo came about to be. But it was still a bad marriage. And like Velo had mistresses throughout the entire marriage. And her mother knows all about Velo's secret son and like all this shit. And then she tells her daughter how she had an affair with this Swedish painter that resulted in Lila. And then she tried to leave Velo, tried to like take her kids and like get out of the mafia world. But Velo was not going to let that happen.
Yeah.
And he killed the lover. He killed Lila's actual father. And her mother at this point is just like, very distraught and upset, asks for forgiveness from Lila about how she's like handled herself and everything. And it's like a little step forward in repairing their relationship. Many more steps to go, but it's good to see that character development from her mother of like, I did not do this the right way. And
yeah, an acknowledgement of it,
change.
I feel like. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 3 days later, she's discharged from the hospital. The group meets to discuss the accident and the letter under the belief that it's all related. We even see Fenton mention how the birth of the baby's near, so it makes sense for someone to blackmail her, try and warn her, another breadcrumb about his involvement. He also mentions like maybe the angle's all wrong and this person just wants to meet with Lila to scare her into silence because he has too much to lose. And I was like, do you, Fenton?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, or we could just kill Angelo and let, like that would be an option. Or we could let Lila go to the meetup and see what happens. I'm like, yeah, you think your brother is going to let his pregnant wife just like go there by herself? Yeah. Then we get another spicy scene where Lila goes down on Tiernan for the first time. Then they have sex. We liked it.
She gets to finally have the dick in her mouth.
She does. And she wanted it in that situation. Notice how he didn't say he was going to do that and use that language beforehand. Yeah. Almost immediately afterwards, they go to her parents' house to interrogate and torture Angelo. He claims he wasn't responsible for Lila's rape. He was in one of the bedrooms with someone. But he's like, I don't want to tell. It'll ruin her life and mine. Turns out it was Tierney. And Achilles is pissed and starts beating the shit out of him. Like, he is going to kill him until Enzo and Tiernan pull him off. And then Tiernan calls Tierney and he was like, were you with Angelo the night of the wedding? She's like, well, what did he say? He's like, well, he said that you guys were like fucking. And he was like, Yeah, that's right. But like, don't let Achilles kill him. And I'm just like,
Oh,
how can Achilles, you're like obsessed with her.
why are you so obsessed with me?
But
He
also,
is.
like, dude, why haven't the two of you just gotten naked already? Or have you and we don't
Right?
know?
Right? Come on, you guys. Orgasms help everything. Just make this figure your shit out.
Exactly.
But then 4 days later, Lila gets a text from an unknown number, which we're all like, oh my God, it's her attacker, telling her to meet him tonight and to come alone.
Dun dun
Which,
dun.
yeah. And Tiernan is like, all right, tell him confirm. Like, confirm this meeting. He's like, but I'm going to go in your place. And Lila's like, no, I need to come. Like, I want some closure on this. I need to face this. And Tiernan refuses. And like, literally has like extra like security on her while he's going to this meetup. He's like, don't let her leave. Don't do it. But Lila doesn't listen. Of course not.
No.
She's a mafia girl. She's not gonna listen to this shit. Ends up holding one of her own drivers at gunpoint to take her to where Tiernan is. She's like, you're gonna do it. I'm gonna shoot you. You better believe I will. And then she gets there and she's hiding. She's like kind of doing all the stuff that she's been taught to do. And she sees someone aiming a gun at Tiernan. And she's just like, oh, hell no. And so she aims and she shoots her pretty pink little gun at this guy and kills him. The only problem now is that Tiernan doesn't realize like that's Lila that just shot somebody. And he had aimed a gun over at her because he's like, I hear someone. I'm going to aim a gun over here. He pulls the trigger only before realizing it's her. And he quickly like jerked his hand away, which is a big deal because he has a really good shot. Like,
yeah, like she would have died.
She would have died.
Yeah.
And thankfully it doesn't hit her. Like she's fine. And he's just like distraught. Like, I could have killed you. What were you thinking? But they're also like, let's go find out who this was. Who did we just shoot? Who is that?
Yeah.
The shooter apparently was a worker on Crimson Key for like over a decade. But Tiernan isn't convinced that this guy's the attacker. And like, we met this guy at one point. He was just like a friendly like waiter staff, like, Raja, Leo, please get me this. And he's like, yes, mom. Like, I don't think this doesn't match up. Like, this guy's like in his 50s. He's married. He had a family. Now he's dead. So sorry. But he's just like, this math is not mathing. I don't think this is right. I think this guy was paid. I think this was a setup. So now we get the baby shower. And we learn that Tiernan didn't take Harlem from Velo because he's like, I don't want Lila to have any doubts about why I'm with her. Like, I don't even need Harlem. I don't want it. I want Lila, and that's it. And you're like, oh, he does love her.
I know.
Look at that.
He's so dark gray, but he has a heart.
So dark gray. And then we find out that Tierney went off and broke the legs of Achilles' mistress. And again, you're just like, oh my God, you guys. Can you just
like get in a room?
Just make this. Yeah. Because, she was really pissed that Achilles beat up Angelo. So she's like, I'm going to go beat up your mistress then. Fuck you.
Like, if I can't have sex, neither can you.
Yes. I'm like, this is such a mafia moment. It's crazy. And then this is a really sweet moment. Tiernan takes Lila to see his gift to her. He's like, it's small. And he hands her a little key. She's like, what's this key for? He's like, it's for that mansion. That one. Right there. I just bought you. She's like, what?
I know.
Oh, he's like, oh, there's more. There's an art room for you to do all of your arch things. And she's just like, it just keeps getting like better and better. And you're like, okay, now what else? Then he gives her a hearing aid. And it's because he's like, put it in. He's like, now the first thing I ever want you to hear is, I love you. Which you're like, oh, Tiernan. My morally gray bad boy. I love you so much.
I know. All the walls are down. I loved it.
Yes. So he tells her, I love you, followed by a live orchestra now in their own ballroom, in their mansion. And he's just like, can I have this dance? And the whole entire room is like filled with like tons of different roses to like help her overcome her fear of them. Like now she has happy memories. Like I'm hearing I love you for the first time. Like I have my husband dancing with me. I hear music, like, and it's beautiful. Like literally this man is just like knocking down all these walls and just like replacing them with roses. Beautifully. I love it.
I loved it. So then she gives birth, and it confirms the suspicion that Tiernan has had for weeks, ever since Lila killed the wrong man that Fenton raped her. And he like
red hair. That red hair.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
he leaves to head towards his father's place where Fenton is at. Fenton calls him, claims it's not what it looks like. And I'm like, please explain how it's not
Tell
what
me.
it looks like.
Okay. Okay.
But then he doesn't deny it. I'm like, then math is not mathing. He needs
Mm-mm.
mental help. I do agree with that. He definitely
Yeah.
does. Plus, he's like, I never thought she'd turn out to be your wife or I'd have to see her again. He's like, I'll do whatever you want. But like, no one but you, me, and Tierney have to know. Because Tierney's the one that like obviously told Fenton because she sends Tiernan a text. It's like, it's never fun. Like, you need to chase your prey, not
Yeah,
just
chase.
like show up on them.
Yeah.
He doesn't admit to being responsible for the accident. He claims he only wanted the baby to die, not her. Tiernan lies, says he'll take Fenton to rehab for the year and then he'll move away and never see him again. But that doesn't happen. Tiernan kills him like he deserves. And then we
Oh,
find
cuts off
out,
his balls. Cuts off his balls.
yeah, I mean, he deserved that.
He did.
What's more painful, to have your balls cut off or your penis?
I don't know. I don't have either
I don't
of
know.
those. So. But yeah, it's very much. But oh my god, Fenton is so fucked up
Yeah,
because in that entire moment he's just like, "It was great, and you're like, "Oh,
like he's way more fucked
bye.
up than you think than you
Yeah.
thought he was, right?
Like he was playing it off like he was like, I'm so sorry, and then when he realized like he was gonna die, he's like, I might as well let my evil out.
And he was super fucking evil.
Pure
Yeah.
evil.
So then Tiernan calls Alex and is like, hey, can you take the fall for killing my brother? Because after all, Fenton was Alex's mole. And I'm like,
Yeah, of course.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. Like once you put all these pieces together, you're like, oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That. Yeah, I see that. I see how that comes together. Mm-hmm.
It's like Fenton had a gambling problem and therefore he blackmailed for the money and he knew all these intimate details.
Yeah.
This makes sense. Why it's him. But oh, what a
So
and he tries to even like use the excuse of like I have trauma too, of like seeing our mother die, which I'm like,
I mean, I get
yes, true,
but
that is trauma. That's not okay to rape someone though.
it doesn't matter what your trauma is. It doesn't give you an excuse to be an asshole.
Yeah, it's like I don't give a fuck what happened to you in your
Yeah.
life. It's never okay to inflict pain on other people. It's
Right.
not okay. No,
Go to therapy.
not okay. Yes, or you're gonna get your balls cut off and die. Those are your options.
Yep.
So now we have our epilogue. It's 3 months later. Lila is attending community college. Yay! Good for her. For art. She's like, in a way, following her biological father's footsteps, which is so wonderful for her. And oh, what happened here in the news? Fenton's body turned up?
Oh, rats.
What? Oh.
Well,
But no
it's
one's really
Fenton.
surprised. Yeah, it's like, oh. And apparently Lila is going to have surgery in a few weeks for her cochlear implant. So, life's going well. And then 7 weeks later, we learn Lila always knew it was Fenton. Well, not always. Like, there was a moment for her around 32 weeks in her pregnancy where she figured it out. Like, the face came back to her. But she was just biding her time for her husband to figure it out. And she's just like, if he didn't figure it out, it was Fenton and killed him, I would have done it.
It felt like a test. Like, I feel like she was testing him a little bit. Would he kill his brother for me?
Would he kill his brother for me? My rapist and his brother, same person. Yep. Will you kill him? And if you don't, I'll kill him. Like, this guy's gonna be dead either way. Like, because now you taught me how to shoot. So
I know what I'm doing now. I won't mess.
Mm-hmm. But also, I was just like, snaps for you, Lila. Oh my god, mafia girl boss, hot pepperoni mamacita. I loved her.
I did too.
So great.
Okay. Hot and steamy, this felt like a 4?
4. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We start with chapter 12, where he's having anal sex with Becky, and she gives him a blowjob while Lila watches. And my favorite part of this is, because it's in Lila's POV, I gave him an airy smile, tipping my glass up slightly in a salute before taking a long sip. It was a small gesture, barely detectable in the dark, just to keep him guessing. But the taunt doesn't go unnoticed. And so, like, this is when he, like, rips himself out of Becky and, like, tears off the condom. And it ain't gonna suck itself, Becky. And she just is like, she hurriedly took his penis into her mouth. And I stood there, dumbfounded. Same, girl. Same. My favorite part is, this couldn't be sanitary. I don't think Becky cares.
And she's just like, Madonna mia. She's like trying every hole possible other than the one babies come out of.
Right?
Oh, gross. Same thing. I was like, that's not sanitary. At least you wore a condom?
I mean, I guess that makes it somewhat more sanitary.
Ish.
But also,
Ew.
yeah.
Ew. No. Okay.
I feel like there's like an order for things. It's kind of like liquor before beer, never fear.
It's just, you never go ass to mouth. You never go ass to
Right.
mouth. And that's both mouths. I'm like, you don't go ass to actual mouth, and you don't go from the sink to the pink. You just don't.
Right?
You just don't do that. That's vaginal bacteria UTI
Like 101.
issues. You don't do that.
Yeah.
We learned that as little girls wiping. You just
I know.
don't go back to
Becky
front.
did not
Don't do
learn.
it. Becky didn't care. Becky was a hoe.
That's very true. Yeah.
Becky was a hoe. Bye bye, Becky. So, chapter 33. Tiernan goes down on Lila. Yay! After he's done his homework, watching the video of Ryson on a blow up doll, he's just like, okay, where is the mystical clitoris? There. Okay.
Okay.
I stopped at her center, giving her a slow, earnest lick from ass to crack. Or no, from arse crack to clit. And again, you're like, sanitation.
Just, yeah.
Maybe not. But she moaned so hard, I thought she was going to wake people in Nebraska. Stroking her inner thighs, I started licking, using my free hand to feel for her elusive little clit. I wasn't completely hopeless. I knew its general whereabouts, and when I found it, I started massaging it. My wife tasted incredible, of clean skin and sugar water, and an addiction I never thought I'd pick. My tongue dug deeper, penetrating her, my thumb spreading her wider. She arched tautly like a drawn bow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It was so good. So chapter 36, when he finger fucks her and then stops her from having an orgasm because he's mean. I was now riding his two fingers. He was knuckles deep in me. I knew I was ready for more. I wanted his entire cock, and I knew he wanted that too. He always stared at my center a little too hungrily, even after he went down on me, like he was leaving a place that was dear to his heart. Suddenly, Tiernan ripped his mouth and fingers away all at once. A squeal of protest tore from the back of my throat. Never threaten me again, darling. And I was like, oh, no, he didn't.
Rude.
At first, I thought he was going to edge her. Like, do you know what I mean? But no, he's being old mean.
He's being meanie. So not nice. But she gets back at him. That's okay.
Yeah.
But then they have a happy time because they have chapter 37 where Tiernan and Lila finally have sex in her childhood bedroom.
With the teddy bear. Oh, so hard.
I'd pick up the teddy bear and be like, look away, Teddy, look away.
The stepdad can't watch.
What if one of those was like a nanny cam?
Oh, God.
Oh boy. So, I all but nailed her into the mattress, sinking into her again and again, deeper, faster, harder. Our gazes locked, that stupid teddy bear between us. I tossed it aside, kissed her ardently. I felt the walls of her cunt shuddering around my cock like an earthquake, pulled my face back to watch her. She was moaning loudly again. I pressed my palm to her lips, keeping her quiet. She grinned, licking my salty flesh. Fuck. I grinned back, feeling shy almost, boyish. All those emotions I never got to feel when I was actually at the correct age to explore them. We stared at each other, grinning like two fools who just conquered the world, because we both managed to do something we didn't think would ever be possible. Fuck the fear and trauma out of one another.
I love that line.
So good. Because it's so true.
So
he had so much trauma from like sex. It was never enjoyable.
No.
And
it was always forced, like when he was growing up.
Yeah.
Okay. Chapter 43. Tiernan goes down, Lila, and they have sex again. Hold on to me, sweetheart. I'm sorry. Anytime I'm like MC is like, hold on to me or brace yourself, put your hands on the headboard. I'm like, yes, please.
Headboard. Yes.
I murmured into her mouth, sliding inch by inch into her. She arched and moaned, her sweet breath skating over my face. Her muscles clenched around me, the familiar rush of heat coating my cock. I couldn't even tell if I was enjoying myself or not. I was so laser focused on making her come a second time. Like, we went from I never want to have the chance of giving a girl an orgasm to like I want her to like have at least 2, if not 3.
Yes.
Thank you.
How many can I get? How many can I get?
The limit does not exist, Megan.
Yes. And it's funny because she's deaf, she has no idea how loud she is being. And he's also kind of like, I'm here for it. I like it.
I know.
He's like, she can't control herself. He's like, and I don't want her to. Screw the teddy bear. So then chapter 50, Lila goes down on Tiernan and then they have sex. And he says, I'm going to fuck your pretty mouth now, darling. Hard and fast. If it gets too much, tap the side of my leg. I nodded and he let me go completely. His hips snapped and he thrust all the way into me. Nausea bubbled up in my throat, but I managed to swallow it down. His tip touched the back of my throat and I loved the rush of excitement it gave me, having my mouth so full of him.
See, we remember how he was like, stop licking things? You liked it. We were right.
Yeah, she did like to lick things.
And he liked it when she did.
Thank you. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. Yay.
Speaking of what's next,
Mm-mm.
if you enjoy this book, you will also love the Forbidden Love series by L J Shen. It includes Truly Madly Deeply, Wildest Dreams, and Handsome Devil. They are immediately binge read them after this book. So freaking good. We also cannot wait to read Twisted Pawn that comes out in April, which is Achilles and Tierney. Like I think we're gonna get some hate sex. Like I cannot wait. Cannot wait.
Can't wait. And then join us next week when we dive into the world of romantasy and discuss We Who Will Die by Stacia Stark. Happy reading, everybody.
Happy reading. Thanks for listening to Late Night Reads. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Late Night Reads Podcast. And check out latenightreads.com for even more information about all the books we're reading. If you loved today's episode, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review our podcast. And share the show with your fellow book lovers.